The video you're about to watch is a great segue into the next series I'm calling King of the Single Barrel, where I had 4 different creators send me 5 different single barrel picks blind so I can put them up against each other to find out who is King of the Single Barrel. That's right, we have Stuff and Whiskey, SLB Drinks, Hello Again Whiskey Friends, and Dusty Dan, as well as Mash and Journey, which is Scott from My Bourbon Journey, and Jason from the Mash and Drum sent me 5 different 2-ounce samples. I'm going to pick them blind. I don't know what they are. We're going to try them all out, and we're going to find out who is the king of the single barrel. But tonight we're going to find out who is the king of this particular blend. Let's find out. What is going on, and welcome back to Bourbon of the Week. Tonight we're going to have some fun. It's Bourbon Night versus the Bourbon Junkies. You know how it goes. Click that like and subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. This is coming to us from Dark Arts Whiskey House, and they say, from the depths of the Dark Arts Whiskey House, we present a challenge unlike any other. As we unveil our Kentucky Toasted Mizunara Bourbon, 2 forces have stepped into the alchemist circle. Bourbon Junkies and it's Bourbon Night. They've conjured their own unique custom blends, harnessing the mystique of our Mizunara finished Kentucky bourbon. This one is going to be fun. They got a lot of details on these. We're going to do it blind, so we don't know who we like better. Let's pour these up. This one over here is coming to us from It's Bourbon Night. This is going to be A, going into our A glass. By the way, can I just say that these bottles are absolutely beautiful. They are decanters when you're done with them. I will definitely be keeping these bottles. This one, Bourbon Junkies B, going into B. I love when there's a little lip on the bottle so you can actually put it into the glass and none of it's going to spill. We're not doing a traditional sip. We're going to spin these up so we don't know which one's which. Let's grab our wheel down here. Oh my goodness, we need one of those. Have you seen the new wheels out there? It's Chris from Whiskey Noobs podcast made the solo blind. Need that. I've been using this for a very long time. I'm going to check that out. Make sure you do as well. Let's spin these up so we don't know which one's which. That should be good enough. I am excited for this. I know the Bourbon Junkies and It's Bourbon Night can make a good whiskey. The Bourbon Junkies made an actual career out of it. It's Bourbon Night has been in the game for a lot longer than I know. So let's get into this. Now we can do the traditional sip. We'll start with this glass over here. Cheers, y'all. I drank these the other night. It's getting better and better. Let's go over exactly what we're working with here. I love the transparency, and we did a little bit of digging ourselves, but let's talk about it. This is a small batch blend, and when they say small batch, they mean small batch. This was a 3-barrel blend, which I absolutely love. True definition of small batch, even though there is no real definition of it. It is 100 proof. There are 600 to 750 bottle average batch yield. It is a mash bill of 64% corn, 24% rye, 12% malted barley. That's going to be important. Make sure you remember that. It's non-age stated, but contains 4 to 5-year-old whiskey. Originally distilled in Danville, Kentucky. Now let's think about this, folks. Hold on one sec. Danville, Kentucky, with a mash bill of 64% corn, 24% rye, 12% malted barley, and 4 to 5 years old. I believe Wilderness Trail puts out a bottled and bond high rye, which is the exact same mash bill, and they're in Danville, Kentucky. So I'm going to assume here that this is a 3-barrel blend of Wilderness Trail product that's bottled and bond, 100 proof, and is 24% rye. That's a high rye mash bill for sure. And then it's finished with toasted Mizunara oak staves from Japan. I mean, can you really get much better than that? I'm excited about this. I think they're really good. I'm curious what the price tag's gonna be. Hold on, I think they actually tell us. Unfortunately, they don't tell us. It just says coming soon on their website here. Let's get into glass number 1 again real quick. Again, these are both going to be very similar, I think, but obviously with a 3-barrel blend, they can definitely get a little bit of differences between the two of them. I think they both have their own profiles that they're probably working towards. They both probably blend in different ways. And when you're only working with 3 barrels and I'm assuming they gave them like an opportunity to get some of the best of what they had. So let's try this out one more time. I did a Patreon video the other day. Make sure you check me out on patreon.com/bourbon of the week. And I decided that I liked one better than the other, but I didn't want to tell them which one it was because I want them to watch this video as well. I don't know if it's we didn't do it blind the other night. Not that it matters. I don't really preference one of these guys over the other. So let's get into this glass over here. This one I like. Fruity. I feel like I'm getting a fruity note on this. You get that oak staves on this. That Mizunara oak stave definitely comes through on this. Let's see what this one's giving us. This is kind of how I remember it the other night. A little bit spicier. Not much, but just a little bit. So I know that wood finishes in general can kind of add that spiciness to thing, like that double oaking process can definitely add a little bit of a spiciness to it. But I know Mizunara also adds like a fruitiness. So I feel like it's weird. I'm getting the Mizunara effect on this when it comes to the spiciness and that oak, but I'm getting the Mizunara effect on this that gives me more fruitiness. But with 24% rye, I keep forgetting that. The sweetness and the spiciness on this balances itself out very well, and I think that's what I like about this glass. Neither one of these are bad glasses of whiskey, but it always feels like every time I put something against something else, even when they're so similar, I feel like one gives me a little bit more spice, one gives me a little bit more sweetness, and I tend to lean more towards the sweetness. That's just me. Where do you guys fall? Do you like your whiskey spicy, sweet? 24% rye, I was expecting this to be much sweeter, but it's still, or much spicier, but it's not. I mean, this one over here is super sweet. I like this a lot. This glass is giving me like a darker fruit note, and whenever I think darker fruit, I don't know why, but I always tend to lean towards plum, but there's got to be, it doesn't really feel like a plum in this particular instance. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like, it's not grapes either. I'll think about it eventually. There is like a darker fruit note on this that I'm gonna touch on, while this one is giving me more of that spice influence, a lot of clove, black pepper, everything like that. That rye spice shines through a lot more on this glass than on this glass. When you get into the spiciness on this glass, the mid palate on this glass, you pull out a little bit more of that rye spice, but it definitely shines through on this glass here. And listen, that's not a bad thing, it's just a preference thing. And that's the tough thing about whiskey, is sometimes you can have two really good whiskeys and one's just gonna be better for you than another. It's no knock on the other glass here, it's just I have a preference. It's the sweeter side of things. This one ends up being the sweeter of the two. And they're both good enough that I can't, like if this was sweet and bad, I would tell you this is sweet and bad. But it's sweet and good. It's just a pretty, they're both pretty good whiskeys. I don't think either one of these are exceptional by any means. I do enjoy Wilderness Trail, the few that I've had. I think they've done a pick. This is the Junkies one, right? Yeah, I think the Junkies have done a Wilderness Trail pick that I have as well. Root Beer 2.0, something like that. That's got to be an old pick. I also got to be a part of a couple of picks with It's Bourbon Night. I mean, we went out, we were in Louisville, we went out all MGP, we were in Indiana. We got one of the first tours of MGP by the master distiller himself. It was an amazing time. So hanging out with It's Bourbon Night, maybe that does make me lean a little bit more towards them. But I've also met the guy, one of the gentlemen from Bourbon Junkies. So again, I don't have a preference here. Both of them are great channels. I figured it out, and it's blackberries. That's what I'm getting. I don't know why I always lean towards plum, but plum gives this like, it's like almost like a sourness with a plum, where if you get a good blackberry, there might be a hint of sour, but I'm not getting the sour portion. I'm getting that dark fruit blackberry portion. That's what I'm getting in this glass, and I love that. I'm trying to see if I can pull any fruity notes out of this side, but I feel like either this glass is overwhelming my palate with the fruity notes, that when I taste this, it kind of just dissipates, and maybe that's my fault. Maybe I should clear my palate in between, but I like to distinguish the like nuances between each one. So if this also has that note, but then it's giving me more of the spicy note, then I want to hone in on the spicier side of things rather than the same note on each. Yeah, this is just giving me, I feel like this one I can tell has the Mizunara oak finish on it. Like this one I can tell did some type of double oaking process or staves finish process, where this one I don't know if I would. If you didn't tell me that this was like, had stave finishes in it, I don't know if I would know that it did. So from my understanding, that's what Dark Art whiskey does, is they take other people's whiskey. They're obviously not distilling their own, usually MGP, but it looks like this time, obviously they're working with Wilderness Trail, and then they do some type of finishing process on it, or they do some type of stave finishes on it. Not a bad concept. There's a bunch of companies out there that do that similar thing, but if you can do it correctly, and obviously they've got two channels here that know how to do this, then you can get some pretty good whiskey. The question that I have that I don't know the answer to, and I probably should have figured out before I did this video, is how much do these cost? I mean, I don't know if they're picking a winner, or if you're just like, I don't know if like I'm invested in this, right? It tells me right here that excited to invite you to be a part of something special. So like, am I picking who gets to move on and get bottled? Or are they putting out both of these? Because what did they say? 600 to 750 bottles? That's a lot. But I guess a nationwide release, it's really not that much. 600 to 750 bottle average batch yield. Listen, we don't have much left. We already finished this one. I'm pretty sure that's the one I'm going to pick, unless something dramatic happens in this last sip. I think I know who my winner is. It's going to be that way. This is going to be our winner. This is going to be our second place. And let me tell you guys, neither one of these are bad whiskeys. I think, and I'm gonna be blunt here. I think if this is between $60 to $65, this is an all-day pickup. if it's, I can see sometimes these things push like $90. That's where things get a little bit iffy for me. Now, I understand Mizunor is a little bit more expensive. Dark Art whiskey, because they're a non-distiller producer, it's a little bit more expensive. Having the name of its Bourbon Night or Bourbon Junkies behind this, or both, depending on how they put these out, is a little bit more expensive. But I just can't see one of these. I mean, it's still a 4-year-old wild Wilderness Trail pick. So they go, let me see what they go for on the market, actually. So the Wilderness Trail High Rye Bourbons, no pick involved, go for $60. So I would assume these are probably a little bit more because it's not Wilderness Trail releasing them. So these are probably going to be pushing $75 to $90. And I feel like, personally, that's a tough ask. But we'll see what they come out at. If they're $60 to $65 or even $70 to $75, depending on who's behind this, I don't think it's a bad ask. I think it's a little bit out of my price range. But let's see who won this. Let's find out who the winner is, which is going to be this glass right here. But neither one of these glasses are bad. Let me just reiterate that. And our loser, now let's just go straight to the winner, is A, which is... It's Bourbon Night. It's Bourbon Night is going to win this one. I think it was a little bit sweeter. I think it gave me a little bit more when it came to the complexity of things. This one is a very good glass of whiskey. This is a high rye mash bill Mizunor finish. Very traditional down that road. That's kind of what you can tell what that this one was. This one just gave me something a little bit different, a little bit something more that I liked, and that's why I ended up being the winner. But listen, make sure you check out Dark Arts Whiskey. Make sure you check out, I don't have to tell you to check out Bourbon Junkies and or It's Bourbon Night. I'm sure if you're following me on this video, you're following them, but make sure you check out me on patreon.com/bourbon of the week. Click that like and subscribe button here on YouTube. Make sure you check me out on Instagram at Bourbon of the Week. Go click that follow button over there. Please don't drink and drive. Always drink responsibly. Stay healthy, stay happy, and stay putting up bottles against each other, because even when they're from the same distillery, the same everything, they definitely taste different. I can promise you that. Cheers, y'all.